So London is officially the world's slowest city, and that's the second year in a row that it's received that accolade. What am I talking about? Well, it's partly to do with these things, the 20 miles per hour limits. I'll tell you everything right after this.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
Right, so this is news that's out today being Wednesday, the 10th of January, 2024. It's on the BBC, you can go check it out, I'll put link below or whatever. London is the world's slowest city for drivers because of the widespread 20 miles per hour limits. Journeys of 10 kilometers, which is about 6.2 miles, in central London took an average of 37 minutes and 20 seconds. So nearly 40 minutes to do a journey in a car of about 6 miles. Wow. And this was the longest time. This is, by the way, this is according to TomTom, who do the navigation systems and what have you. And this was actually the longest time that they recorded in 387 cities in 55 countries. Not quite appropriate for, a dynamic, exciting, fast-paced, big metropolis city like London, is it? Anyway, it's the second year in a row, as I've said, that London has topped the slow city ranking. But the spokesman for the Mayor of London described these results as misleading. So, Dublin, Toronto, Milan, and Lima join London in making up the slowest five. So they're in the top five. And in the UK, Manchester was second to London, followed by Liverpool, Bristol, and Edinburgh. So somebody from TomTom said that London really is the slowest place in the world to drive a car, especially in the core city centre. You don't have maximum speed limits of 50 miles per hour higher. It's a maximum of 20. That kind of makes sense. I don't know why they said 50. I mean, 30 would have made sense because that's what they used to be. They were never 50, but anyway. You don't have the infrastructure for driving very quickly. Now, to be fair, when you talk about like a city like main city, like Dubai, for example, even in the middle of Dubai, I still live there, there are massive 6-lane highways in the middle of the city, which are, I think they're about, I don't know if they've changed them now, but they're 60 kilometers per hour. So pretty quickly you can go through them. Transport for London lowered the speed limits to 20 miles per hour on a further 65 kilometers or over 40 miles of roads in the south of the capital during the final 4 months of last year. And as you can see around here in northwest London, I've just shown you the 20 miles per hour signs. This is actually new on this road and in this area, actually. When the measure was introduced in September, the transport body said it would bring the total length of roads with a 20 miles per hour limit to 140 kilometers, about 87 miles. So Khan's spokesman said the study is misleading because it only includes analysis from the very small part of the city centre, not the whole of London. Well, misleading. I mean, they should know about stats and data that's misleading. I mean, according to how they've used a very small part of London to figure out that 95% of cars in London are compliant, when they're clearly not, just walking around here. But anyway, to his point that it's misleading, well, it's not misleading because I'm assuming that TomTom are comparing like for like. So if they're looking at city centres, then they're looking at all the city centres. So when they say that it's a slower city, then it's a direct comparison with all the other cities and the city centres of those cities. So therefore, it can't be misleading. It's accurate. Roadworks are the biggest cause of congestion. I could have told you that, which is why the Mayor's Infrastructure Coordination Service, which doesn't appear to be very effective, does it? Is working with boroughs and utility companies to reduce delays caused by roadworks, saving London road users over 1,250 days of roadworks since 2019. I don't know about that. I mean, around here, take the Edgware Road. I'm not far from the Edgware Road. And as I mentioned in the previous video, from Edgware down to the Brent Cross flyover, there's constantly roadworks on it. And they just seem to move them around. And there's constantly contraflows and stuff like that. And it just doesn't seem to be any logic. And sometimes they move them around and they move them back to the place they were before. And you go, what exactly is going on here? I mean, either just doing it deliberately to slow people down, or there's just complete lack of coordination and collaboration between the different departments that are doing whatever it is that they're doing. TfL's Director of Network Management said, and Resilience said that we disagree with the analysis of the road speeds and believe it is not representative of London as a whole. No, because the report says that it's the core of London. are you disagreeing with the report that's very clear about what it's reporting on? And you're saying, but it doesn't cover the whole of London. Well, no, because that's what they said in the report. They said, no, we're looking at the centre of London. Although, to be fair, it's pretty slow around here as well now, isn't it? The report looks at data only collected up to 5 kilometers from the city centre, regardless of the city's overall size and density, which means that fair comparisons cannot be made with other cities. Well, I don't know. I think all major cities have pretty dense city centres, apart from maybe Dubai. Actually, Dubai city centre is pretty dense as well. In October last year, the government published a plan for drivers, which included an intention to curb the use of the limits, which is the 20 miles per hour limit. It stated, we will make clear the 20 miles per hour speed limits in England must be used appropriately where people want them, not as unwarranted blanket measures. Something I uploaded. I actually covered that report in another video. You can go check that out. This discussion about these speed limits obviously came about a month after Wales became the first country in the UK to drop the default speed limit from 30 miles per hour to 20 miles per hour on residential roads and those commonly used by pedestrians. But even there, they've kind of rolled back on it and they've opened it up to local councils to make the decision. But the councils are like, well, we've already put the infrastructure in place to reduce the speed limits. So we're not going to take those all out again. So it's a bit of a mess, really. But anyway, there you go. One of the most dynamic cities in the world is actually the slowest city in the world. And that really doesn't come as a surprise to Londoners, but it's yet another challenge against the motorists in the ongoing war against the car. See you all in the next video.
Brown car guy.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here or right here on YouTube. Just hit these 3 little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.